Garrath. So what did you think of the match last weekend? Shea Connors obviously came through with that late goal. Must have been nice to take home the point.
Yeah, we had some significant changes to our lineup following coming out of Perth and the international break. So it was a chance for some of our younger players to step up with the less experienced players. And we spoke heavily in the lead up in those final days about the opportunities that were presented to that group of player, and how important it was to keep the same mentality and attitude of the players that had come out of the lineups in their own performance. And I was really proud of what they did. It's a long trip over to Wellington. Wellington are a team this year that have put 5 past Canberra and held Sydney. I mean, they conceded late against Sydney from a set piece. So they're a handful, and they're full of good players. So it was nice to get ourselves a point at the end of the game. It's a long way to go to come home with nothing. And whilst the hopes of a final series are still alive, it's probably a bit more faint than what it was going into that game. But we'll continue to push and keep pressure on the teams in front of us.
And what do you expect from a team at this point in the competition? Like, what's the message you're trying to get through to them?
Ours has been about what's the context and what is our role, and our role is to be there when someone slips up. 6 points is the gap between us and 4th place at 2 wins, and there are 2 teams in front of us. There are 3 teams in front of us. We get to play 2 of those teams again in Melbourne and in Perth. So we just need to be there, taking all the points we can, and taking their place when they fade. And the message we've sent coming out of the international break was we won't be the team that fades at the end. We'll be the team that's pushing through and running through those brick walls.
Celebrating Larissa's 100th game this weekend, what do you have to say about her as a player and individual?
Riss is a professional. She's a quiet person. She's extremely humble. She is a learner. I admire her persistence and her dedication to football. I think there is a moment in her career where a lot of footballers may have pulled the pin and sort of given up the game and gone and done something else, and she pushed through that, and I think that is a credit to her and the person that she is. She's just the player that turns up every single session, does everything that's ever asked of her, and it's been really pleasing in the last 18 months to see her get rewarded for that same attitude at a national team level, as well as consistently good performances within our A-League competition.
And you're back home against Western United this Saturday, so what's the approach going up against the top of the ladder?
In this competition this year, you will see, I think any team can beat anybody. The ladder's a reference point, perhaps for the ability to turn up and do it week in, week out. But this is a team that has been beaten by Newcastle. It's a team that's been beaten by Perth. So they're able to be beaten. They're top of the table, and they're a good footballing team. But we felt in Hobart, probably 2 defensive errors from crosses were what stood between us and a point, and with some better quality finishing at the other end, that scoreline could have been much different as well. So we're looking forward to having another crack at them. It was a very deflated feeling after the game against them in Hobart. We felt we should have taken something from that game, and I'll be honest, those players on the pitch now feel that they should be where Western United are, and that's the mentality we'll be carrying into the match.